So first time home buying, exciting time. I mean, y'all are all ramped up and you're going out on your own and you're going to buy your first super big purchase. And so it's an exciting time. And what I would just like to throw out to you is just there's a process to go through for this that can kind of help you make sure that you hit the steps that you need to get you from here to exactly where you want to be. It's kind of like anything in life, you kind of put together the game plan. And so the game plan that I and I know Keith and the other agents in our market, basically we put together for the first time home buyers and really for any home buyers is number one, you're going to need an agent, okay? And a real estate agent for a buyer, basically they're working in your interests and they're helping you with not just the search process, but also the process all the way through and helping to guide you from figuring out what it is that you're looking for all the way to getting to the closing table, okay? And so that's going to involve several different steps, and you just want to make sure that you're connected with a great agent who knows the process and has been around to understand how you get from point A all the way to point Z, okay? Because there are several steps involved there. So they're gonna, if you don't already have a lender, they can help you find a good lender, and certainly, you know, we've got great ones already on this Zoom call, but you know, they can help connect you with a good lender. And I'm just going to throw out to you something to consider heavily and to discuss with your real estate agent. And when you're choosing your lender, looking locally first, okay, looking at good local lenders. And the biggest reason for that is, and we're going to actually talk about this a little bit more in depth in a little bit with regard to making offers in our current climate, because it's a different climate right now for home buyers, and especially right now for the first time home buyers. And when you're making those offers, having a good, strong local lender behind you and backing you and saying, hey, you're good and you're good to go on the purchase, that's going to be a super, super important piece of the puzzle for you, okay? And so once you've found your agent and you have found your lender, and the lender has said, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, you know, you can qualify for X number of dollars of purchase price, okay? Then you determine, okay, do I want to go all the way to the top of that purchase price? Just because you're qualified for $200,000, understand you don't have to spend $200,000. You need to also help and discuss with your lender, you know, I also would also just like for my payment to be at such and such. And so what does that, where does that put me? So that then you can talk with your agent so that together with that number and along with your list of wants and needs, all right, your agent is going to discuss with you, and ahead of time, you and whoever's buying the house with you, if there's somebody else involved or just yourself, you're going to put together a, man, this is everything that I would love to have in my first home. Okay, you're going to start with the big list. Okay, and then you and your agent are going to kind of help pare that down to what are the true, this is what I must have, this is what I'd like to have, these are the areas that I'd like to live in, and maybe rank those. Gosh, I'd like to be in this area, this is my top area, then maybe this area, and gosh, I absolutely have to have a fenced backyard because I have a dog. Okay, well, what if, and so these are things your agent will help you think about. Okay, is that an absolute? Or what if you were able to get a good enough deal on a house that didn't have a fence that you could put a fence in? You know, so your agent's going to help walk you through those things as well. So we've got the agent, now we've got the lender, we know how much money we can spend. You and the agent have discussed what do I have to have, what would I like to have, and then together you start the fun part. Okay, you get to go ahead and start searching for homes, and you'll start that process online typically. And you are probably already online looking at some of those websites right now before you've even found the agent, before you found your lender. And that's totally cool because it's helping to kind of gear you towards what the market looks like. All right, once you have started that, you and your agent will start doing that together, and they'll kind of help school you a little bit on some of the sites that might be better than others, some of the sites that might not be as great as others. in helping you to really find the right house. Because there are some sites that don't have all the houses on them. There are some sites that don't have as much information, and I'm not going to go into what those sites are, because I certainly, since this is being recorded, I would not want to be sued by any of those sites. But you and your agent can certainly discuss that. Once you've kind of started looking at some stuff online, you and your agent will start searching for homes, okay, which means you'll actually start going out to the homes, doing some site visits, going on showings. Okay, I'm not going to get into all of the in-depth on each one of these. I just want you to kind of know what the whole process entails. So you're going to go on the showings, and then you're going to find the house that you go, oh my gosh, this is the house that we'd really like to we can see our family in, we can see ourselves in. This is what I want for my first house. Then you and the agent will sit down. You'll look at the pros and cons. You'll look at what other homes like that maybe have sold for, so that you can go ahead and put together a good offer. Your agent will help guide you with regard to that, what might be a good offer, what might not be a good offer, what's going to help you get, again, from point A to point Z. All right. They are going to help you with the offer form. There are forms involved, you know, like anything, you know, somebody mentioned earlier, sign in, sign in, sign in. You know, there's going to be a lot of signing starting at this point, and then also when you get to Brian's going to have a lot of things for you to sign, and then you're going to get to the closing table, and there's going to be a lot of things to sign. But it's going to start with the offer and the paperwork that the real estate agent's going to have for you, and they will guide you through that process. The agent will present the offer to the listing agent, and then negotiations start. That can happen quickly. That can also take sometimes a few days. Okay, so just keep in mind the end game when you're doing the negotiations, and your agent will help you keep on track with that, I'm sure. But you just try not to get tied up into the little things, but look at the end game of what you're trying to accomplish. All right, so now you've made it through negotiations and you've got a contract on the house. At that point, it gets back to the lender, because the contract will go there. They will start all of the loan processing. There will be an appraiser involved, okay, that will help determine the market value of the house, and if that matches with what the contract says, okay. There will be a home inspection involved. There will be home insurance involved. So there's other people that are going to be working with you throughout the process. There will be a closing attorney or an escrow title company involved. And again, your real estate agent, they're going to actually be the hub of all of this activity, okay? They're going to be kind of right here in the middle. They're going to be reaching out to the lender. They're going to be reaching out to the closing attorney. They're going to know when the appraisal's happening. They're going to help you schedule a home inspection. They're going to let you know that you need to get homeowners insurance. Of course, your lender's also going to tell you that. So they're going to help walk you through all of those things. But so just know that you're not on your own with this, okay? That's why the agent is so important. It's not just about, hey, I found a house. It's about, hey, walk me through from here all the way to the end game. So the last thing, once you've got all those things going, let's make sure everything's gone smooth. You're going to go to the closing table, and everybody goes, closing, closing, what's closing? All right, that's just where you finish up the deal, and you're going to sit down with your agent and sometimes your lender and the closing attorney or the closing officer, and you sign the documents that the lender has prepared so that it will become your house. And then guess what? Then Keith or somebody like Keith gets to hand you some keys. Okay, and then you get to move in. So that's all the fun part. This home search is really the really fun part, but that's kind of the process from start to finish, and why you need to have really good connections with the different people involved there. So